Hello, Year 8. Good to see you all again. Welcome back. We've got another lesson for you. Guess what? I am so sick of lockdown. I hope I can see all you guys again soon. But unfortunately, this is the best that we got. Look at my hair. Look how long it's getting. Oh man, I can't wait to see my barber again. But here we go. I've got a quick video today on the new topic that we're doing. It's going to be called clusters. Oh, let's see how we go. Clusters, gaps, and outliers. Okay, so there's three kind of buzzwords that we like to use: clusters, gaps, and outliers. And basically, these things are ways that we can kind of pick out overall trends in the data. So I've written that down. Please write it down. Now, there's a slight difference between the three, and they're kind of intuitive. What that means is they kind of make sense. They follow a bit of logic. All right, now cluster. The first one is cluster. If anyone has been watching the news, you guys surely know what a cluster is by now. There's clusters of COVID cases in, the Blacktown LGA or the Maryland's LGA. There's clusters. That means it's when data gathered around a particular value or values. That means there's a whole bunch of them together. They're clustered. Okay. So that's, the reason that we're in lockdown is because there are all these clusters. So that means I'm stuck at home without being able to get my hair cut from my barber, making me very sad, but that's what a cluster is. All right. Second thing is there's a gap. Now, a gap is exactly what it sounds like. It means that there's a gap in the data. That means there's no data there. So, for example, if I took a look at all my haircuts in the year, I go January, I had a haircut. February, I had a haircut. March, April, May, June, uh, July, probably up until June, I had haircuts, right? Then July, no haircut. Probably August, probably no haircut either. So there's going to be a gap because there's nothing in there. Okay, it means there's a gap. And the last one is an outlier. So an outlier is just a fancy word to say that it's a score that's unusually high or unusually low in comparison with the rest. Okay, so for example, oh man, I'm gonna try and think of another hair one, but maybe you said, for example, this hair is getting really long. My hair length is normally like a centimeter, a centimeter, a centimeter, a centimeter, a centimeter. But now this is like what? Can you see that? That's probably like what, 5, 6 centimeters? Because that number is so much farther, like further than the rest of the numbers, we call that one an outlier. Now, in case my hair things didn't get to you, I've got a actual example of what it might look like, and I'll show you, I guess, kind of how to deal with this. I'm going to let's use blue. Okay, so we've got three different sets of data. We've got scores, we've got a stem and leaf, and we've got a frequency polygon, right? Polygon meaning basically it's just a graph, a bar chart, column graph. So we're going to identify clusters, outliers, or gaps. Now let's look at A. We've got monthly rainfall 25, 16, 6, 27, 28, and then there's 96. Now, if I look at this, I wouldn't say, because there's not enough data, I can't really see if anything's clustered, right? I guess there's 25, 27, 28. That's kind of a cluster, but because there's not enough scores, I need to look for something else. Now, I can't really say if there's any big gaps either, because there's only like what, 6 different scores. But if I look at that 96, that 96 there is a huge big difference from all the rest. So which one is an unusually high score? It is your outlier. Okay. So that would probably be how I answer that question. Now, if I look at my stem and leaf, okay, let's take a look here. Are there any clusters? Right now, can we see how all our scores are kind of like all around here? Because they're all around there and they've kind of clustered together. I mean, there's scores everywhere else. We're going to call that one a cluster, right? I wouldn't say there's any gaps here because, each score kind of has, it has scores like 2, 22, 26, 32, 37. There's a lot of stuff there. The only thing that's here is really a cluster. All right. And I wouldn't say there's any outliers as well because all the scores are kind of within the same range. They're close to each other, right? And the last one, hopefully this one now has become pretty apparent or pretty obvious, but you can see there's kind of like a big fat gap here, right? Just like where I haven't been able to get a haircut, there's a gap. So that there is what we would call a gap. And so hopefully that helps you to identify outliers, clusters, or gaps. Hopefully that helps out with your exercise today. All right, take care. Bye. Stop. Whoops, I'm still here. See you later.